So what he's wanting to do is make sure he gives himself the best opportunity here with that Azrael, which we all know, we've all taken turns shooting, that we can hit quarter-size shots with out to 500 yards with no problem.
Stole the words out of my mouth. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, exactly. So he's wanting to make sure he puts himself in the best possible position. Welcome back, everybody. Clint today with the Classic Firearms, the CF podcast. And we are rolling deep today, as Matt said. We've got the whole squad in here. We've got Ryan with us.
What's up, guys?
We've got Kaya.
What's going on, everybody?
And we've got Matt.
Squad up.
And we are, it's just us here. We're going to be having a good time talking about our bolt gun series, because for those of you that don't know, we are in the midst right now of filming a new series, all of it with bolt action rifles. And we've got Matt rolling with the Savage, right?
Yeah, I got the Axis 2 in 308. It's got a Bushnell adjustable optic on it. It's got a Champion bipod, which we added. So the rifle and the scope came as a package for like $500. I added the bipod, so that's my package.
Yeah. I think it's like a 4 to 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. It's a nice package. You have a great package.
You've got a great package.
Thanks,
man.
I appreciate that. It has been a little challenging, but we're making it work.
Because the package is okay, that's why. But okay.
It gets the job done. Whatever.
Did we have the crickets audio? So Savage. So you're working with a very minimalist setup.
Bare bones, entry level, every man's rifle.
Yeah. If only you had iron sights. Anyway, and then the next
Might
up
be
on the
better with iron sights.
Probably.
Yeah, maybe.
If you actually didn't aim with that rifle, you probably would have a better chance hitting your target.
That's true.
Oof.
That's true.
He's doing great. He's doing fantastic.
You know what? We're going to get into some of the results in a minute, but what are you shooting?
We will. So yeah, I've got the Bergara B14 HMR Carbon Wilderness. God dang, I can't believe I got it right that time. Yeah. It is. And it's also chambered in 7.62, 308. Matt and I liking them thick over here as we do. And so let's see, I've got the Harris bipod up front, and I got a written optic sitting on top of mine, and that's that really. Pretty much out of the box, how it comes, not much more you really need to do to it.
And you guys are shooting M118 LR?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we got the Hornady boys over here.
Dude,
the one that makes big boys cry.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, you guys got that's the ELD ammo?
140 grain.
Yeah, so you guys got that nice shit. But anyway, Ryan, you're running the Arrow, right?
Arrow Precision Solus Competition, 22-inch, 6.5 Creedmoor. Let's see, worn bipod, aluminum. Let's see, Mark IV scope rings,
got the
35
Lambda.
millimeter.
Got the Lambda on there.
Got the Lambda on there, and then got a loopholed Mark V 3.6 to 18 because they multiply it by 5.
Yeah, for whatever reason. Yeah.
That's if they say weird thing, if they say Mark IV, take the lowest magnification, multiply it by 4,
and that's the
highest magnification.
Did not know that.
Same thing.
Didn't know
6.
that.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Okay.
So there you have it. And then it is funny as you progress, going from Matt's to mine to yours to Kaya's. It gets kind of funny because the longer it takes to be able to explain what you have.
Yeah. Now here we go.
And so here we go. So guys, if you're going to be kind of bored for the next 5 minutes, I just go ahead and fast forward. Anyway, go.
All right. So I've got the U.S. Arms Co. Azrael, and that's all you need to know.
No, I think they probably want to know a little more than that.
Yeah, probably a little bit
All
more.
right, it's chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor, the original J. Allen chassis, which is bought by MDT. It's got the Orion X2 Dev Group suppressor on it, EOTech Voodoo 5 to 25 magnification scope, TriggerTech Diamond trigger, which is fantastic overall, an amazing rifle. Again, I'd like to take some credit, and I can.
No.
Yes, I can, Matt. I know you're looking at me like
that.
No
credit given.
So
rifle.
Why don't you think he deserves credit?
So all of us have gotten to try each other's rifles, and I felt like it was telling that all of us could make shot touch, if not right on top of shot, with that rifle, the Azrael. It's an amazing piece of equipment. And so every one of your shots takes no work on your part. I think every one of my hits should count for like 3 of yours.
Wow.
So for everyone at home, we went through what we're going to talk about before this, and Matt basically said that to us, except it was a lot nicer.
Yeah, dude.
That sounds like loser talk to me.
No punches held back on that one.
No.
Damn, that sounds just like loser talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a point. I mean, I will say he's got a point because all of us did shoot the Azrael, and we all,
shot worse than me.
No, not at all.
I got one clip. Everyone saw it, of just rounds stacking to the point where we had to zoom in.
I helped you out there. Actually, that was a
hole
miss.
accuracy, like true one hole accuracy.
Yep.
You could just see that hole get slightly larger.
It's nuts.
In
I
all
mean,
seriousness,
pinpoint.
in all seriousness, guys, they actually really drilled the same hole with the Azrael. So it's a fantastic rifle.
And
It
I
really is.
also want to say this too. I mean, there's probably a little bit of bias coming from Josh over at US Arms Co., right?
Yeah.
Because he spent the most time to make sure that gun was zeroed and on, and he was like, all right, cool, I can do this, I can do that. All right, we want to make sure that everybody's getting there and everything. And he was able to get us all on target, no problem, and giving us the right calls and adjustments and everything. But he made sure that the US Arms was stacking
It was
them,
dead on.
And he's like, oh, you got that Savage? It's like, all right, well, we'll get you there, bud. Don't worry, Rudy. He's like, you got a Bagara? That's cool. Did you hit the paper? All right, nice.
You're zeroed.
You're zeroed. Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, all of them are performing very well. And the Savage, what's so funny, it's a Bushnell.
Yeah, it's a Bushnell.
The Bushnell optic, I mean, there is no reads. It's just a standard crosshair.
Yeah, just plain crosshair. You cannot zero the turrets. So, like with y'all guys, once you got, zeroed in, you could zero your turrets out, and then you could just make adjustments from it.
Yeah.
Right.
Nothing on mine.
Which was nuts when you think about it, because it was
Also-
at 450, right? 450 yards.
450.
Bro, you were hit. You saw where you missed that one, and then it was like 2 or 3 shots all on target right after that.
Insane.
I was like, what the hell?
And then also like the turrets, the readings are only on the top or the side of the turret. You can't see it from the shooter position without craning your head around.
Right.
Dude, who in the hell picked that gun for you?
I don't know, Kaya. We should look into that, Kaya.
Well, yeah, we should.
Cut the clip in.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I'm going to go ahead and call it right now because we haven't filmed, is it the last 2 or last 3 episodes?
Last 2 episodes.
So the next 2 episodes, believe it or not, are happening today.
Yeah.
We're after this podcast. We got a couple things we got to knock out here. Then we're going to go to this other range. Shout out to Southern Variety, right? For giving us a couple 100 yards to work with, because we're going to be doing our team competition there and also our night vision competition, which will be pretty fun. But I'm just going to go ahead and call it right now. I think the way the table is divided is pretty much how the team should be.
What?
100%.
Yeah.
165 Creedmoor, 1308.
If you
high
average
end,
the
low end,
cost,
middle.
of the
165
rifles-
Creedmoor, 1308, 1308, and 65 Creedmoor. Like an X.
Dude, so look how badly he's trying, dude. But also, if you think about our scores right now, it balances out also.
It does balance out, yeah.
I got to carry Matt. Fine.
Okay. I did not come in last in any of
I
the
was
shooting
gonna
challenges.
say,
I'm not sure.
Okay, so in episode 4, Matt got second place.
Yeah.
He did. And he got it with that rifle, too. So props, man.
And I didn't come in last in episode 3 either.
Nope.
Just throw that out there. Not throwing shit at anyone in particular.
Look, man. Shit happens, right?
Dude, Matt is just
Matt's just
haymaker.
hammering that.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Rolling deep.
So, what were the competitions again? Because I'm having to think back about it because it's been some time now.
Episode 3, we did 3 different distances from one shooting position.
That's right. Yeah,
And then episode 4, we had the target at the same distance, but we had to shoot from 3 different shooting positions.
Yeah, that's right. Because I did better at the standing, which again, it's like I know I get in my head. I get so caught up in my head about speed that I start to lose out the focus on my fundamentals. Right. Mm-hmm. That first drill that I ran with both hands, on the pistol, I was slower and I missed one. Yeah. The moment I actually took my time and focused on my fundamentals, I shot one-handed. Yeah. All shots were on target, and I was faster. So again, it's one of those things. I know I got to get in my head. Slow down.
Yeah.
The entire, I hate it. I hate hearing it so much. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So I believe
that's
though.
true. That is literally true.
And I think for anyone out there who hasn't shot on a clock, or especially on camera on a clock, which is going to go out to lots of people to watch, it's so weird because even though you know in your head what you need to do, you're like, okay, I need to take my time, breathe right, follow those fundamentals. There's just something in your head that's like go, 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 go.
I did it again yesterday with the bullpups. As soon as I picked up the Hellion, I was like, all right, cool. All right, you remember where the mag release is. It's behind the mag well. It's behind the mag well. It's behind the mag well. Cool. As soon as we do the reload, I'm like pushing it with my finger. I'm like, where is it? Dang
That's
it.
what happens. Man. I want to say too, so by far the hardest one for episode 4 was that crouch position.
Yeah, sitting.
Dude.
Who
made it in that position?
He made it. He's the one guy.
Kaya's the one guy who made a shot from the crouch or sitting position.
What? I'm sorry. Didn't work. What were you saying?
I didn't say anything. I don't remember.
I don't remember. I actually
it's like that Mandela effect. I don't remember ever saying it.
I agree. Mm-hmm. By the way,
wait, Kai was wearing a monocle?
Yeah.
That's funny.
So all right. So unfortunately, I haven't been present for some of the outside the warehouse videos, but I did see you guys did the smoothie one, which looked shitty.
Gosh,
Fantastic.
Dude.
Awesome.
That was horrible.
I'm actually kind of.
I still don't know how you got more questions right, or at least credit for the question, right? Because you didn't get it right, but you were close or whatever. So
which one? On
you got on the smoothie challenge. You got more questions than I did, and you still ended up with a shittier smoothie.
No, I don't. Wait. I don't think I got the shittier smoothie.
How did you not?
I had the strawberries, blueberries.
I would much rather drink Matt's. You know why?
Why?
Because his was more liquid-like. Yours was thick.
Because I forgot to put the Mountain Dew in there.
Because you
that
put
wouldn't
Mountain Dew in there. You just didn't put anywhere near enough. But
Bro,
also,
my ingredients were better.
But
you had that fish.
Dude, you had
fish.
hot dog. You
fish,
had
tofu.
fish and sour cream sauce.
Fish?
Yes, fish.
Dude, he had
herring and
he
sour
had-
cream sauce. What else? You had the blue cheese.
I actually
What did
like
I
blue
have?
cheese.
I
I
had
like blue
banana
cheese, but
and
not
hot
on my
dogs.
smoothie.
Like
I know.
really neutral tasting banana.
Dude, we should have asked in the comments section, like, you know what? If you guys are watching this, go to Outside the Warehouse. Please watch that video and then comment here which smoothie would you prefer.
And as
would
far
you
as the
prefer
fish
to
goes,
drink?
it was gefilte fish.
Yeah, that's
and
disgusting
So we
thing.
only used the liquid, and effectively, like I took a taste. It's like chicken soup.
Oh God.
So
But he had the sour cream and actual fish.
herring and
Yeah.
sour cream dip.
Dude, that
No,
was
he
the
had-
only
he had way
bad
worse.
thing. I had pickled eggs, I guess I did.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Pickled eggs, blue cheese, sour cream dip.
That's it. Those are the only 3 bad things I had.
And
Rest
then he
of them
tried
were
to
really
cover
good.
it all up by adding way too much fruit. And it
I
ended up
wanted-
making,
bro, there
ended
was
up
no-
making like a
wait.
concrete instead of a slushy.
Okay, I won blueberries. There was no limit. Like there was no like precedent or no rules. I just put the whole blueberries in there.
All the blueberries.
I love how
Don't forget the blueberries.
Kai's idea is like, all right, so if I pick something I want, I can put as many as I want to in there. But if I pick something I don't want, I can put as little as I want to.
That's right. Because you know what? That's called. That's called.
He's like, yeah, that's logical. He's like, yeah.
Well, that's the tax code that Trump went around, and we didn't have a rule.
The federal
We did
agent
not-
is talking about loopholes to rules. So.
There actually are. We didn't have any rules on how much, so I determined that based on my needs.
Oh Jesus.
Anyways, yeah.
Anyway.
All right, so getting back on track. All right, so do we know what the bolt gun team competition is going to look like?
Let's do
Looks
this.
like me and
That's
Matt.
actually what we
No,
talked
no, no.
about
I mean,
last
like, what's the competition? Do we know?
We got to figure it out. We got to plan it. Let's plan it right now.
All right, cool. So here we are. All right, so we know that we're going to have 75 to 200, 250 yards, right? So we could do it like a relay.
That's what I want. I want movement because we haven't
so
incorporated any movement.
I didn't think about like actually I thought it was gonna be like, okay, he has to hit 100, then I'd have to hit 250, and then he has to
So
hit,
here's
whatever,
in my mind, I'm already thinking, dude. If we, depending on the how much room we have, we have 2 shooters, 2 separate lanes, right? And I'm confident in all of our abilities here. Okay, I mean, we did the Fort Scott Munitions, Battle Line Tactical 2-day rifle course, rifle pistol course, and everybody, because I was posting up on my Instagram this, and a lot of people were saying, "Man, that looks really dangerous. You're running ahead of the firing line." And I'm like, dude, get over yourself. Like, this is training, and these are very competent shooters. Like, if you're in a class. And you've got as many, like there was almost an instructor per student out there too.
Yeah, there was.
It was super safe. And they didn't let all students run at once, right? And I'll get to my point here in just a moment, but there was probably only about 5 or 6 of us actually on the firing line. And there's like 8 instructors out there, or at least 3 instructors and so many, God knows how many RSOs, right? And then on top of that, you as an individual shooter are also an RSO. If you see something unsafe happening, call ceasefire. Oh my God, how about that? And also, if you practice these things, what do they call the gun safety fundamentals? Oh my God, there's like 4 of them. So I mean, there's like things you can do to prevent stupid shit from happening. Well, anyway, I want to take that same type of mindset. And I would like to say, let's start at like the 75 yard. You got 2 shooters. As soon as you call threat, whatever, you hear the shot timer beep, whatever, cool. You take your shot, and as soon as you hit that target, you get to advance to you get to run back, right? And so you're running back. Let's say we're going back, now to the 100 yard, then to the 150, then to the 200, then to 250, and you have to take a shot each time. Once you get to the 250, your partner's waiting. Now your partner does it in the opposite range.
Yeah.
Now your partner, as soon as you get there, you slap hands. As soon as you hit, boom. Now your partner's down shooting at the 250. As soon as he hits his target, he runs to the 200. Now he runs to the 150. Now he runs to whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, we could do a relay. Depends on, do you want to do like the whole 200 going back, or do you want to just do a couple runs? Like that's.
We also have to look at like the range that we're going to be at.
Yeah.
You know, because that could
we haven't
dictate
been
it
there
too.
before.
But
Yeah.
the idea is it's going to be a relay of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I did totally agree. That's a good idea.
competition, like one relay competition, or do we do like 2 or 3 different?
It'll probably depend on how long it takes.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know, which
We'll
I can
determine there.
imagine. Honestly, I think, you know, if 250 yards, we all know that our rifles are capable, and we know where they're at. Matt seems to think that.
Well, yeah. He's got the thick boy. That's why.
Like I said, dude, 7.62 NATO, we have a little bit more margin of error. You know, we don't have to be as precise because it's a little bit thicker in diameter. You know,
I vote for that relay. I think
Yeah.
movement is very good. It'll
Okay.
be fun. But I also vote for precision under time.
okay.
But how is it not? 'Cause
I mean,
we're
I
gonna
think it's
time the
already
relay race.
exactly.
No,
I was
it
going to say
is.
you're competing, so it's inherently under time.
It's
because
also under
I wanna be-
duress.
I know, but that
Under
involves
stress.
movement, right? You know, movement, blood pressure, and all that stuff. They'll all be factored, and you're gonna have different distances. But we could have, what is it, 250 is the? Oh, we could have a real small target at 250 and engage like 3 times. It's just an example. On a
So what
time.
he's wanting to do is make sure he gives himself the best opportunity
So
here
what-
with that Azrael, which we all know, we've all taken turns shooting, that we can hit quarter-size shots with out to 500 yards with no
Just
problem.
saying.
Stole the words out of my mouth. That's what I was
Yeah,
saying.
exactly. So he's wanting to make sure he puts himself in the best possible
Yeah.
position. When what the relay that I'm talking about is will actually test you and your capabilities, your endurance, and also how well you'll do under stress with an elevated heart rate.
Oh yeah. Relays 100%. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it. That's good.
So
But-
I mean, so would you not say that we've kind of already knocked out your precision
That's
one
just
though
one
when we were shooting
competition.
stationary?
Well, it's one
Yeah,
competition
yeah.
for one video. Yeah, that's how the series works.
Whatever. You're supposed to be my teammate.
I am your teammate.
Well, it was like not right now.
when we get to the competition,
All right, sure. We'll make a competition that's really good for you. So we'll have like
he's
10
just
yards.
mad he's got to carry that heavy rifle.
10
That's what-
yards.
That's what it is.
That's it.
Yeah.
10 yards prone, and you got to seize on target. Hit it once.
All right. So then, all right,
Some
okay.
tension on that
I know,
team.
there's-
That's all I got to say.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to be on that
like,
team.
I feel like you and I is like, I mean, it just makes sense. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, you balance each other out. Well, you know, we got team dad bod, team I've got too many muscles versus like, hey, we're pretty regular guys.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's gonna go great, dude.
They're about to kill each other.
Yeah,
We're
it's
not. We're, you know.
We got to show these freaking little couple of turds over here.
It's all right because I mean, look,
Dude, now it's coming
as
our
much,
direction.
Yeah,
As,
so,
as
yeah.
much as it's a team competition, right?
Yeah.
You have to rely on your teammate. It's still individual competition. You want to compete individually for your portion of the competition as good as you can.
Absolutely.
So that's all I can do, right? Like I'll give it my best shot, and then hope he carries his side. And then hopefully that together. No. That was not a shot. That was not a shot.
It sounded like it.
Sounded like a shot.
I mean,
saying-
three out of 4 would say that's a shot.
I'm just saying, like, if I do the best I can, he does the best he can, then we'll together, you know, we'll do the best we can as a team.
This is looking really good.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Okay, all right. So I think we've got pretty much the team under. I guess we've got an idea. Granted, we might get out there and be like, well, we got to change this up completely. So
Yeah,
stay tuned for that. But anyway, okay. So then, what about the night vision thing? Are we going to like stop and get like glow sticks to highlight the targets or something? Because one thing that we had that I couldn't fly with, and I really wish we had them. I left them with Brandon Texas Plank, and I've been happy to see him actually like using them on his channel or on his Instagram or whatever. But anyway, I had IR signature. Or IR, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like they light up.
Yeah,
They're like beacons or something.
Yeah. Well, anyway, they're the Firebird
Tags.
targets, and they explode when you hit them, you know.
Yeah.
But they're the little discs. It's not like tannerite. You have to mix anything. You have to worry about poundage or whatever else. You know, they're little discs. They make a cool sound and they pop, and they're loud enough to make it like damn. And if you stack them on top of each other, it's cool, right?
Yeah.
They're super cool. 10 out of 10 would recommend the Firebird targets. But these ones are IR sensitive. That's the word I was looking for. And so you would look under night vision with them, and they glow.
They glow like
And
crazy.
yeah, exactly. Unlike, you know, if we're out to 250 yards shooting at night vision, and let's just say we've got a still target downrange, and it's like, you know, in the window of a car, you're gonna be like, I guess I'm aiming at it.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be hard to determine that silhouette. Then again, I haven't shot with these AGM optics on the guns either.
Yeah. So
I have no idea what to expect. By the way, thanks AGM.
Yeah, to give everyone a background, so AGM gave us 3 Neiths. Neiths, I believe that's how they pronounce it. Neith.
Neith.
Neith. And then plural Neiths.
Yes.
From the
Sounds
nights
really
you say
weird.
Neith?
Yeah. Neiths. And then so we're going to put those on our 3 rifles. Kaya talked to
Yes, sir.
AGM and got a better model
Of course
So,
it is.
yeah.
So what? Wait, how? Like, I mean, what? Did you go under the table with Justin or something?
Wow. Okay.
I'm waiting for an answer.
So clarification question, actually. So are the Neath's units part of what that package will be later?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
so
that
yeah,
is.
so all the night vision that you guys will be seeing
go with the
utilized,
guns.
they come with the guns. So again, you're welcome.
CFcontest.com.
Yeah, CFcontest.com, shameless plug. And but no, seriously, Justin at AGM Global Vision, thank you guys so much for providing this because we haven't done night vision content before.
No. The biggest thing that I didn't account for up until looking more into it was that the Neaths don't work because there's not enough ambient light at long distance.
That's right. After
so
what is this?
What we had to do.
So we've got some IR lights, right?
We had to,
Yeah.
the SIOUX.
We got one sitting over there.
Sioux,
Is that how you pronounce
the
it?
Native
Yeah,
American
can we,
tribe.
can we
There we
grab
go.
one real quick? I
sounds
just want to
French.
take a look. Now, are they white light too, or is it just IR?
It's just IR.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, the dedicated IRs. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So, okay, the Sioux TH, Sioux, whatever. So Sioux, like the tribe, right? How the hell are you supposed to open this? This thing is in
I
there.
think you just push it out.
I mean, you're supposed to. God dang. Okay, cool. And I want to see what this thing looks like. So if I shine it,
It looks
in,
like a flashlight.
Yeah. So if I shine it in Kaya's eyes, will it still like cause problems?
No,
him?
well, it's a fun experiment.
That's the
Can
only
you
science
like,
class.
hey, just open up your eyes really wide, real quick.
They really want to put us in a disadvantage. They know they're going to lose.
So, dude, there's all sorts of cool little things in here. We should probably charge these before we go, right?
We have batteries.
Oh, well, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, so there's all sorts of cool little things. Got a little lanyard. There's the battery pack. There's so it comes with the mounting solution too, which is pretty neat, and also the pressure pad that you can. It's just double-sided tape, so it just tapes right onto your rail or whatever the hell else. That's pretty cool. I like that. It looks like just a regular scope ring for your mount. And yeah, everything you need. That's pretty sweet.
That's cool.
Dude, look at the dang lens on that
I mean,
thing.
worst case scenario, we got that D-ball.
I mean, that is true. That
Yeah.
D2 sends
D-ball,
it.
yeah.
Sends that IR laser out
Yeah.
there. So if we need it, I mean, we got that. You're absolutely right. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And that's AGM, right?
Yeah, that's AGM.
I wonder if you can use it to heat up snacks.
That
So-
looks like it's got a thick boy.
Is that what you're worried about, Matt? Snacks?
It just occurred to me.
What kind of snack? Snack.
So the idea is if we're pointing this in the direction of where the target is, then the
should have-
Neath should be able to light it up, and then you can see the target.
So I know there's probably a couple listeners, viewers that are probably like, wait a minute, what's the point of night vision if you can't see at night? Well, understand something. If you walk into a pitch black room, there's no ambient light whatsoever. You don't have moonlight, you don't have stars or anything like that. And let's say you're under nods. It doesn't matter how nice your nods are. You're still going to need something to generate some sort of light that can cause feedback or that can actually be absorbed by the lenses so that way it can actually show something, right? So you have actual like faux light that you can create. And like even the basic PVS 14 that I have on mine has an IR illuminator. You pull the switch out, your on-off switch, and rotate it, and now it actually illuminates IR, which is exactly what this will do. And it lights up everything for you. Again, pitch blackness. Like if we were to turn off all the lights in here, there's no windows or anything. And you go under nods, it looks really grainy and you can't see anything.
Yeah.
The moment you turn that IR illuminator on there, it's like, oh my God, I believe I can see. It's cool.
Pretty cool.
Well, so,
So
yeah, I mean,
that's a
basically
superpower.
that's the difference between like a like amplification style
That's right.
night vision
It
versus like
amplifies
IR, right?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
if you're giving off heat, but you don't give off any amount of light.
But if your enemy has night vision too, now you stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, if you have that
Oh,
illuminator on.
yeah.
Yeah.
You get that thing on.
Hello. Yeah, you definitely do stick out, that's for sure.
It'd be like those car lots that have the spotlights.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, so night vision is really cool. The only problem with night vision is it's expensive.
Yeah.
It is expensive. Now then there's companies like Hollow Sun that came out with we saw it at SHOT Show, but we haven't.
What was that?
It's their thermal and also their night vision capable optics. I don't remember what the designations were or whatever.
Really affordable. Yeah.
Yeah, affordable for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking sub $1,000 for night vision on your gun.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
That is
Thermal.
pretty cool.
I want to say with that, after talking to Holosun, that thermal optic that we claimed, or some people claimed, had a shorter range than it actually did, was BS.
Oh, because they were saying that the thermal capabilities are only like for 70 feet or something.
Something
right?
like that. Yeah, I think it was a little bit longer, but yeah, around that range. And yeah, that's BS. It can go further than that.
Really?
Holosun, yeah, they
debunked that.
they debunked it exactly.
Because
So,
when we were shooting, we were only at like what 25, 50 yards, something like that.
something like that.
I think actually we were only where you hear the forklift in the background.
Yeah. We hear everything. Yeah.
That's what happens whenever you record a podcast at an active warehouse.
In a warehouse.
Yeah, but no, it's okay. I think it actually only was like 25 yards or so, and yeah, they had actually IR targets, which is pretty cool. It actually the targets light up with a little bit of heat under them and everything, so the thermal could pick up easily. And yeah, that stuff is cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting because I don't think not only have we not done this kind of thing as a video, but I haven't really worked with any of these kind of things before. I mean, maybe in the Marines you would have used night vision or IR related stuff. Never touched any of the stuff, so it'd be kind of cool to get my hands on it for the first time.
Yeah,
Me too. Like all these years of law enforcement, quite honestly, I never was exposed to night vision until when I got into the gun industry.
Yeah,
just wasn't
cool.
Yeah,
not a lot on the military side for me. I mean, a little bit. We've gotten to play with it and stuff like that, but not a lot. My MOS doesn't. Doesn't need it.
Beam counter.
Yeah, but I will say though, like, I mean, we'll do a little bit more, but I will say though, like, there's a couple of guys here in North Carolina and Charlotte actually that go to the range at Ballantyne about once a month, and that's all they do is night vision stuff. And so I've gone a couple times with them, and I've gotten really familiar with my PVS 14 and
that sounds real good.
My D-ball and my Mark 18 and shit like that, and that is fun. That's a lot of fun, and 10 out of 10 would recommend that. If you got guys like that in your area, get up with them if you want to learn stuff about night vision, because there's always dudes that are super nerdy about this stuff, and they're like, oh, dude, well, you can take this and you can build this and do this and make it like this. And now all of a sudden you're running thermal and night vision. It's like, oh my God, you have all the capabilities in the world. And yeah, it's wild.
Dude, make an introduction, man. I'll go with them.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's one of the things I really love about the gun industry as a whole, like our gun enthusiasts as a whole, I should say. If you go to the range and you're not an annoying little prick, but you like just ask respectfully to try something that you guys are excited to share what they like.
do, yeah.
You got a really cool CZ pistol, and somebody's like, hey, is that new CZ? They want to show it to you, and so
it was you and me at the point blank range that one time where the guy had the Uzi, right? Weren't you there for that?
I don't think I was there for that.
Oh man, I thought it was you. It must have been another bearded white guy. Anyway, there was a guy there that had an OG Uzi. And I mean, it was legit full auto and everything. And he was just over there. He was like, and this guy was just like proud of this thing. And everybody that was anybody that was coming over there just to kind of like look at it like, dude, are you shooting full auto over here? He's like, hell yeah, I am. And it's like, dude, that is sweet. And he's like, you ever shot one? And I'm like, no, I haven't. He goes, dude, here's a mag. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, and I'm over here. I'm like, you want like $20 for the ammo or anything like that? Like, I get that parts aren't cheap to find. It's a pre-84 and everything else. And he's like, nah, man, this is what's fun for me, watching other people and seeing the expression on their face when they're done shooting it. And so I tried to be like dead's face, and I was like, but no, I couldn't. I was really happy. Shooting machine guns are cool.
It's funny because I feel like the barrier to entry as far as firearms go is pretty low, as long as you just even have a friend who has a firearm. Like, imagine one of your friends coming up to you and being like, hey, I haven't shot a gun, but I'm interested in it. And you being like, good for you. And then like move on to the next conversation.
That's typically what I do.
Yep.
Anyways.
No, that's what I'm talking about, right? People get excited to share what they love. And if somebody came up to me and was like, hey, never been shooting before, I really love, great, let's go. I'm going to fill my trunk with every gun I own and as much ammo as we can carry,
right?
Because I want you to have a blast.
Exactly, and you want to build community around that,
dude. I mean, and that's what we do at the range. How many times? I mean, hell, we were just recording yesterday, and a guy middle of recording, like I'm like, don't cut that. That was actually pretty funny. And he just,
hope so.
I can't remember if he blew the horn or just classic firearms, yeah. And I'm like, hell yeah, brother, just whatever, just having a good time. And it's just cool, man. And it is a community. And I say this on the live stream all the time. Like people ask all the time, what more can we do to protect our Second Amendment rights? And it's like, get involved with the community. Mm-hmm. Get out there, start making some friends. Yeah. Honestly,
invite someone else who's never been shooting out, or maybe if they've had limited interaction with shooting, invite them out.
Yeah,
dude, that lady. We were just watching something. Some politician was like, "I was holding an AR. I held an AR-15.
I was heavy.
It threw my 2 hands in my hands or whatever. It was heavier than like 10 boxes.
Yeah, 10 boxes.
First off, what kind of unit of
boxes.
measurement is that? It's heavier than 10 boxes.
10
but here's
boxes.
the deal: if that was the case, that would be good for you, because we couldn't really carry that thing, conceal that thing, any of that stuff.
Right?
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
it was like a non-point she was making. Yeah. It didn't make any sense. It was like, okay, well,
I think it was Sheila Jackson Lee.
They wouldn't be effective with it if it was that heavy, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to kind of like throw like little baits at Clem's way to just get his political side.
You already see me like I'm like taking the deep side, because I was getting ready to say, dude, like it's so funny to me just how ignorant these people are, and then they say shit like that, and you're literally countering your argument. Like, bro, leave me alone. Just let me shoot my machine guns whenever I want. Not saying I have any. I'm just saying, just let me shoot what I want to shoot when I want to shoot it. As long as I'm not affecting anybody else, go away.
Yep. Yeah,
Damn.
there you go. Mission accomplished. I love this, man. Yes.
Support organizations like Gun Owners America and Firearms Policy Coalition who are actually standing up and fighting for your rights, unlike the NRA. So there you go.
You ever seen that guy with the dollar bill in the fishing
Almost
bowl?
had
Yeah, almost got it. That's Kai right now.
Yep. Not hard. Okay, all right.
We gotta
So
piss them off, and then they get all riled up.
I think that's one bingo square.
this is one big.
We have one more too.
It doesn't take much. All you got to do is like, Clint, how you feel about the ATF?
Yeah, how do you feel about it?
Don't Kyle.
Make a
What about the
CF
FBI?
podcast
Yeah, we
bingo
love
board.
the
Clint, do you have any
Right.
strong opinions you'd like to share?
Yeah, man. Everybody should own at least 5 AR-15s.
Full auto or no?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Yeah, you should. In fact, I think maybe you should own more than just AR-15s. I think you should have a couple of AKs. I think you should have a couple of bolt guns, a couple of lever guns, a couple of pistols. I think, honestly, you should own everything that everybody's trying to tell you that you shouldn't own. That's what you should own.
I just wish I had an RPG.
I think you should own whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
If you want to own 15 of the same lever gun,
Yeah.
good for you.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about guns. I thought maybe you were talking about some other stuff. I was like, whoa.
RPGs are free game. You should also be able to own RPGs. I am
would love to.
110% of that mindset. And anybody that wants to, like, dude, all right, that's too far. Then you're one of these people that says, I believe in the Second Amendment, and you're wrong.
There we go.
That's that.
That's
There we go.
definitive.
I mean, so like that's it, and then it escalates from there. But at different time. We're supposed to be talking about the bolt gun series.
The RPG that shoots 7.62 by 39, right?
No, I'm talking about an RPG that shoots an
Actual.
RPG.
That is so funny. The ones where someone has a video and they're shooting an RPG and you just say, "Ding."
That was me.
wait.
Remember?
I know, but I've seen it like in other places too. It's
That's.
funny.
I thought you were joking. That's a thing.
No,
It's a
thing.
trainer.
It's a trainer.
Yeah. So it
It's
looks
just
like,
like
an
the-
RPG. It
yeah.
looks like it has a grenade in it, but it's really just firing.
What
Dude,
those
go
cousins?
watch-
What
go
are those
watch,
cousins overseas? They don't. They just they get the real one. Right out the-
No, they don't have trainers. Just give it to them.
Yeah,
They're like, no,
Dude,
you're
go wa-
shooting it.
Just watch the intro to. We covered Red October a couple years ago, and the intro is me shooting a couple full autos, different machine guns, stuff like that. And then the very end, you see me holding an RPG. I pull the trigger, whatever, and all you hear is a bang, like, and you're like, "What was that?" And I just turn and smile because it's a 7.62 trainer.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not a real RPG.
This U.S. greatest nation on earth, guys. In the Middle East, there's no trainers, as far as I've seen.
Well, it had to come from somewhere.
You just grab the whole thing. You just grab the kids
And
from the
then of
neighborhood.
course, I mean, in the Marines, we trained on the AT4 with the AT4 trainers. They shoot 9mm. It's a big ass 9mm, single shot 9mm.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
That is actually pretty cool for mechanics. Like we were talking about the military using the 22 for. Those,
Yeah, we did a video on the 22 trainers and the history of
Yeah.
the 22 long rifle in U.S. military service, and that's something I think is super interesting. Is they made all these 22 caliber versions of full service rifles, and we even got to take Juliana out. and
we did
shoot,
Juliana too.
The AK-22 trainer.
Yeah.
rifle. That was fun.
What blew my mind was that they had 22 trainers for a long time with AR-15s and M16s, like that general family, right? And then they just, and if you go back, bolt actions, before like World War II times. And now we don't use that anymore. We just all of a sudden said, you're training, that's 5.56.
So well, I mean, when you think about it, right? So like, it's not like the recoil on 5.56 is super uncontrollable, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it is more than a 22 long rifle, but 5.56 is a really big 22 caliber, and
In fact,
very
I
manageable.
think it's actually 223.
That's right.
Imagine that.
The problem is the gun is too heavy. I mean, if the gun wasn't.
And then you get to a point where when the military is buying ammunition, you're buying such a bulk of 5.56 that it's not really any cheaper to buy 22 for training purposes.
Yeah.
So it just kind of makes sense that you're like, you know what? Do we need this? Like, is this a thing that's benefiting anyone?
I agree.
Yeah.
Speaking
What are you
of,
laughing at over there?
Oh,
there's
because
something
you
going on
said
over there.
something earlier. You're like, what really blew my mind, and I didn't have the chance to say it. I was like, Kurt Cobain.
Oh God.
We
I'm
were
sorry,
talking
dude.
about 20 gauges.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Like, you said it, and I just started laughing to myself. It was one of those times where my mind, like, what really blew my mind, and I was like, wasn't a 20 gauge, obviously. You're still
Yeah,
here.
for all the viewers here, they should watch Clint get around a Carcano that's out in the warehouse.
Dude,
and it
every
just
time.
sits there and he's like, I got to make one joke. He's like,
It's
I got to make one joke.
I obviously wasn't a cavalry model, right? There's no way Lee Harvey Oswald would have been able to do what he did with a cavalry model. Or did he at all?
The magic bullet.
The grassy knoll.
All right, let's talk about that.
So we were supposed to be doing a podcast on the bolt gun challenge, right?
Yes.
The Carcano is a bolt gun.
I thought that was the bait
And it was
to get people in.
the episode 1 of the bolt gun series.
It was.
Yeah.
The Carcano was in episode 1. Yep. So was that K98.
Full circle.
That's right. You were
I
supposed
mean,
to get it.
it would have been a challenge, but I would have loved to try to take that K98 and shoot it out to the 500 yards.
You may have been able to
Wait,
do okay with it.
Like
because
it's not a challenge with the Savage? I'm sorry, keep going.
So, but I can't remember the scope that's on that K98. Are the iron sights visible underneath?
I don't remember.
I don't
remember
think
either. We'll have to
so.
take a look at it again and see if Ben will let us borrow it again.
It's gone forever. So,
It's gone forever.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
Bye.
For real talk, though, a K31 would be awesome
Oh,
Yeah.
my
to use
God.
in the bolt gun series.
Or a
Yeah.
1903. There's lots of guns that, historic gun,
Yeah.
that I think would be a blast to test out your ability to try to shoot to this distance.
Of course, they'd be a blast. They're all guns.
Literally.
With the jokes today.
Wow.
But yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, like the K98 would be cool to shoot. The 03, Ben also has in his collection. He's got 2 of the Marine Corps 03 snipers with the Hilux scopes and everything. And I'm like, dude, especially the one with like the 20-inch long scope, whatever. I'm like, dude, that would be pretty sick. Like 2.5 power. you
So
know?
that's like I made the joke because Ryan has a Tika, and so
Yep.
we made the joke that we should shoot his new Tika versus my old Tika, and Ryan got excited. He thought I had like a little bit older production
Yeah.
version of his rifle.
So-
No,
no.
I meant my
Your
Mos Nagant.
Yeah.
like
Is it an M39?
it's an M27.
N27.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I mean, we should do like, because I've got my 39. I can bring that out. But mine, I got to do something. I replaced the extractor on it once, I think, because mine really gets a little difficult to actually close, But I mean, I still love the gun. It's beautiful how they just took those, the finish, just took those guns and they finished them really well. Anyway, but they just did such a good job at the way the wood connects and everything. Oh my God, it's beautiful. I do like some good bolt guns.
They did elevate that platform about as high as it could go, I think.
Absolutely. I agree with that 110%.
I
So
want to see a versus video, and we talked about it last time, but since we have a 1903 and we have pretty much a Mark 22,
Yeah.
Of the Barrett MRAP, right?
Okay.
We could do a old-time sniper versus modern sniper.
that would be cool.
What
That
would
would be
be,
really cool.
would it be the accuracy or ergonomics? What would you like to
Cover it all, yeah.
All of it.
Take it out to at least 500 yards,
Yep.
at least.
Gotcha.
So that is always our challenge, right, guys? Because when we look at long distance precision shooting, like 500 yards is about the limit of what we have available.
Let's take it down to Texas with us when we go see Brandon. We're gonna go see Texas Planking in another couple months or so. Because I shot him a text. I was like, dude, I really want to shoot long distance again. And it's so fun. And he's got at least 1,000 yards out there. And if we go to that's at his ranch. If we go to the Cayenne Vista Ranch, which is right next door, we got a mile. And so we got with the giant Yeti on it. And oh crap, I feel so bad. What's his name? Starts with James.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, James. There it is. The Cayenne Vista Ranch. Solid dude. That guy, he was just so excited once you got on target, man. He's the perfect embodiment of what you want on camera, Solid dude. But anyway.
Also a solid dude.
Oh, also, yeah.
This guy comes out. He's got cut off jean shorts, but the thickest legs you've ever seen.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
walking him, he's like, "What's up, guys?"
Yeah, and he was a Marine too, and we're like, dude, so like, how long were you in the Marines? He's like, oh, I did that for quite some time, and he's like, I finally bought this because I just really didn't like the job I was doing, and I was like, but it's like, so I mean, like, what were you after that? Like a construction foreman or something? I was like, no, I worked in IT. Like
What?
bro? What?
Yeah.
You worked in IT? And he's like, yeah. I was like, what did you need those muscles for in IT? And he goes, "Psst, never knew, man.
Crunching numbers.
Wish those hackers would.
So I always feel there's a certain amount of comedy in seeing someone being really jacked in a job that has no business being really jacked. Like you go to your local Starbucks and your barista's just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
That's just a job, man. That
I-
guy's just
I
doing,
know.
yeah.
the,
That guy's
the
probably doing something else
ergo the
after.
comedy, something you don't expect in the situation.
Oh my god.
Speaking of the bulletproof Yeti, though, I still remember. I'll admit, kind of like a airheaded moment when I first heard you say you shot at a bulletproof Yeti. I just imagined it being a giant Kevlar cooler.
Yeah, he thought it was the cooler we were shooting.
No, those aren't bulletproof.
No, they're not. Especially,
I mean, you could
especially
make
when
one
everybody started
armored, I
shooting at 'em.
suppose. You could make one armored, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, we could talk to Guard Dog about it. They could put. I'm sure they could actually like insulate it with body armor.
Yeah.
It'd be easy. I think it'd be pretty easy. All you got to do is tape a bunch of 10x12s to it. It'd be fine.
I don't know if we want it to be a Yeti, but yeah.
I don't know if we want it to be taped.
It'd be all right. You know, there's all the different body armor inserts out there for backpacks and stuff. Just line it with that. You'll be good. You got to protect the beer, man.
Speaking of Texas Blinking and kind of the bolt gun series, he has that series right now where it's a long range shooting competition that he releases
with viewers.
every month. Yeah.
Which is super cool. Yeah.
So maybe we can line something up where that's going on at the same time. That'd be cool.
That would actually be really freaking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let us know down in the comments if you guys would like to see that. Like I said, I want to get out there because, first of all, Brandon's just an awesome guy. While we're down there, too, maybe we can hook up with our other Brandon, Brandon Herrera, the AK guy now running for Congress. Congratulations to him. He's got our full support. That is for sure. I love that his announcement photo was make Texas belt fed again, and he's holding with a 249.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think
I'm like,
it was 249.
Dude, I'm like, you know what, man? I'm going to move down to District 23 just so I could vote for him. That's the cool. That's the type of guy I want right there, you know?
Yeah. No, I like saying that because it's like combining what we see in online firearms culture, and now it's coming to like life, you know?
Yes.
It's coming to like what we'd see every day in politics.
Yeah.
You know, it's like merging of worlds almost.
Well, it's like that North Carolina representative too, Mark Robinson, right? He got it, dude. His video went viral of him saying, hell no, I wouldn't take an AR-15 to war. You call these a weapon of war? And dude, he went off, right? And he said, let me explain what an AR-15 is. And he went off, and he was right about everything that he was saying. Super pro-gun. Yep. Everybody voted for him. They're like, get that guy in office.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's just the culmination of what we talked about earlier when you said, how do you get involved, or how do you affect change? You want to get involved with the community. This is like the epitome of that. You're running for an office. You're going to engage with the voters, and you can actually be in a position to affect change.
Another good example.
Be the change.
Yeah, be the change. Another good example is everybody knows and loves her Lauren Boebert. Hell no, you're not going to take my AR-15. She went and told Beto to his face, and now here she is again in office.
I just think that's good. Like, people need to listen to that stuff because a lot of people just vote blindly, red or blue, right?
Absolutely,
They just
they do.
vote. Oh, it's red. I don't know who this guy is, but it says Republican here, so I'm going to vote. I would never do that. Just know who you're voting for, what their policies are. Listen to them. Like, I just think that's very important.
No, that's a good point. And that's actually why Brandon Herrera decided to run, was because the guy who he's now competing against, they should be on the same time, on the same team.
He's voted for anti-gun legislation, red flag, all this stuff.
Republican.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
And he's got an R next to his name, so he's like, oh, well, he's obviously, for everything that I believe in, and that's absolutely false.
That's false. Yeah.
Yeah. So do the research on the people that you're voting for. Now, I know as much as like we disagree with the two-party system here, unfortunately, we're hypocrites because there's only two teams. So maybe getting, you like how I brought it back on the wall like that?
Let's take those Democrats down.
Really? I like to consider myself the libertarian team over here.
This is a political
We're independents
episode.
over here.
This is a political episode. We're team gold. All right, vote gold. How about that?
We're team
All right.
platinum.
All right.
We're team platinum.
Diamond.
I thought we were going to do red versus blue if anyone gets
Yeah, I'd be blue.
Red versus blue.
Wait.
back in the day.
Yeah, what's what do you call it? The thingy. The thingy. What's damn it.
I can't remember either. I know what you're talking about.
The chupa thingy.
It's the chupa thingy. Yeah, the warthog.
The warthog. Yeah, that's old school. That is
true.
old YouTube right there.
I don't know how many people we're appealing to, but that's old school.
We got to name the teams.
Yeah.
What's
Team chupa thingy.
what? That's what, you gonna put that on the screen?
You don't know nothing about Halo.
I have
do you?
no idea. Because I got a life.
No, we won't be Team chupa thingy.
I heard that.
What'd you say?
He's just mad because we beat him at Call of Duty. That's all it is.
From what I understand, it's not hard. I mean, I finally re-downloaded it, and I actually did really good.
I cannot wait to see this. I am. I'm more excited than anyone else to see the verses between the two of them.
I re-downloaded. I played two
John is
games.
too.
I played 2 games, and I actually took photos of like how I finished or whatever.
So the reason you did well, is because you weren't in a game with Ryan, and the reason for that
I've said that. I actually said that.
No, do you know why? Because his KD whatever is so freaking high.
Yeah.
So you're gonna match with dudes or gals, whoever, or whatever you identify.
Don't play that shit.
It's gonna be with those guys. Because when I play with him, I'm like, why can't I kill anybody? When I play by myself, I'm like, God.
Don't you play on a computer too?
Kaya, be better.
Don't talk, just be better.
Be better.
Get
Be better, PC Master Race over here.
I know,
God.
dude. I gotta buy the game again. So this is gonna be a work thing. I guess I can expense it.
I mean,
there's an argument to be made.
There you go.
So can I get an Xbox to keep here then when I come in town?
Oh no, we're going
down a slippery slope.
Oh God.
Oh
So
boy.
team
Team Ramrod.
All right. So your Team Ramrod. Super Troopers over here?
Super Troopers.
Oh, Super Troopers.
Yeah, you should know about that.
Super Troopers.
How
Yeah.
have you not watched the Super Troopers movie?
Bro, I've
He was
watched
a
it
super
many
trooper.
times.
He was a super
Say it.
trooper.
I was. I even had the stash. I definitely had the cover.
Uh-huh.
Now, all right, meow.
Schnozberries taste like
Yeah, but
schnozberries.
Yeah. So, what was that? How many times did you say meow?
Meow.
Anyway,
Right,
so
meow.
Team Super Troopers. No,
Team Ramrod.
fine. Ramrod. That's it.
Super thingy.
Super Trooper.
I don't even know how you
Team
say
Ramrod.
that.
CHUPA dash
All right,
thing.
Farva.
It's like Chupacabra.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the Chupacabra, Team
All right,
Chupa
Team
thing.
Ramrod.
Chupa thing.
Farva.
I don't, but I feel like is anybody gonna know what that means though? Like, you know what I mean?
Red team, blue team.
Red team, blue team.
Red.
Okay. Blue team here, and you guys are red team. Good.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
simple
So,
enough.
so it is myself with the Bergara, Ryan with the Arrow, the Solus. Then for Team Red, wait.
I mean, you guys are red team. We're blue team.
Okay, Team Blue. Now we're together. I'm looking at your red solo cup and it's getting me confused.
And your blue battery.
Yeah. Oh my God. All right. So Team Blue, we've got Matt with the Savage Access, and we've got Kaya with the U.S. Arms Azrael. All
You
right.
know what's crazy? is
What?
When we combine both of our rifles,
Yeah.
and Matt's too, I guess. I'm not gonna
Just
make
as an
a joke there.
afterthought. Just as an afterthought.
That's just a drop in a bucket, dude.
It's still a third of Kaya's rifle.
I'm pretty sure my espresso costs more. Wait, not pretty sure. I know my espresso alone costs more than your rifle.
Yeah, by a lot.
You can buy two of them.
Like you could average the price of our rifle together, and it would be more than
Is-
some of their
You could like
rifles.
outfit a battalion of his, and it still wouldn't reach your rifle.
So is the Azrael, the way it's kitted out and everything with the night vision and the silencer and all that stuff, is that going to be the most expensive feature on CF contests ever?
It
Wait,
probably
even
will
with the
be.
night vision, because it's like 13 grand without the night vision.
Yeah, so with the night vision, the silencer, all of it is what I'm saying. The optics, all of it.
15 plus grand or more.
Yeah.
I think so, because come to think of it, like, so the most expensive rifle we've ever had was
Stewart's military
Stewart's.
deployment package M107A1.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like that whole.
And that one didn't
price?
even have an optic with it.
What was the price on that one?
15. About
So-
14 to 15.
I think this is going to be more expensive with the night vision because those night visions are, I think, over 2 grand.
Probably.
The
Yeah.
thermal. Yeah, because the gun itself, Josh said, 13 grand with everything on it.
Yeah.
We're gonna take inflation into that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about inflation, dude. I can't, there's I can't afford any of the guns I want to buy because of this,
Can't
this
finish
economy.
a thought either, evidently.
Yeah, dude, inflation sucks, all right?
Yeah.
So there you have it. But anyways, so I'm looking forward to tonight, though. And so far, yeah, the bolt gun series has been pretty fun. And spinning, again, with what Josh does in the Special Forces is just incredible. And talking with him, literally, after speaking with him just for a couple of moments while we were just, all I was doing was just kind of setting up and cleaning my Bergara a little bit, just running the, just cleaning the bore a little. And just talking with him some, it's like, he and I probably spent about 3 to 5 minutes just having a conversation. I learned within that couple of minutes so much about long distance shooting. I'm like, oh my God, that man has forgotten more about long distance shooting than I will ever learn.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Did you know that he just got the 22nd place in the what was that president's competition?
Yeah.
Over 1,000 people, and he just got
From around the world.
Around the world, he got 22nd place, like nationwide, whatever, worldwide,
International. Yeah.
Yeah, and they gave him a patch that he was going to deploy with it, the Special Forces, and he sent me a picture. It says President's 22 or something. No, President's 100.
Yeah.
That's the patch. President's 100.
Yeah,
freaking cool.
it's a privilege to get in the top 100, and
Yes.
he got 20.
He got
second out of that.
Yeah. He's
So
good, man.
One of the things I thought was super impressive is just, and you can tell, obviously his mastering of his craft, right? Because we're using different calibers. We have, I think all of us about the same barrel length, though, right?
Yeah.
All about
Generally
not
speaking,
yours.
yeah.
I
That's a
think,
good
right? But we're talking about different calibers. We're talking about mils versus MOA, depending on which scope you're using, and he's just able to make those calculations
In his head.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, "Hey, you were about 3 inches high. Why don't you turn turret to this?"
And he'll literally say
He's
he'll literally
good.
say you're running M118. It's this grain, and you've got mils, right? Yep. Okay. All right. Yeah. Just go ahead and rotate this many
crazy.
times. I'm like, dude, what? And then all of a sudden you take your shot, and he goes, yeah, that's where you want to be. and you're like, what?
You know, he said like the barrel length. A lot of people don't know. He said barrel length doesn't really increase your accuracy. It's just velocity.
It's just velocity.
I was
It
like,
just holds it a little bit longer
longer.
downrange. That's all.
so barrel length. So those guys with pistols, like the 4-inch barrel versus 6-inch or 5.5. It's like, oh, I got the Glock 34. That's more accurate than my Glock 19. based on what he's saying.
So
I understand
what-
the pistols.
We'll laugh about
Now,
the
hold on.
pistols.
Yeah.
Pistols are
because
different, I get it.
Yeah, because it's like
You got to think about that sight radius too, because
Right.
that's
Yeah.
actually a really big deal there.
Sight radius
radius
is
is more
for
important,
lining it up so you can actually have that precise. But according to him, the barrel
Mechanically.
itself, because sight radius does make a difference, barrel itself does not increase the accuracy. That's what he was saying.
well, if we're talking about pistols specifically too, it's funny because people will take a Glock barrel and they're like, "Oh, I want a better one," so they'll put like, what's your buddy?
Oh, mass grade.
Salient.
Agency.
Agency. That's what I was thinking of, agency in it. And they're like, "Hey, this will make it better with it. It's threaded, so it has that extra velocity." And you're like, "Dude, you're shooting 20 yards away, like max." Like
That is, that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, people like those longer barrels, though. I mean, I remember when I first got my Zev dimpled barrel for my Glock 19 Gen 4 way back when. Yeah, I was at a gun shop and somebody was trying to sell it to me. Like, yeah, man, competitive shooters love that extra, get threaded barrels all the time just for competition, just to get that extra velocity. And I was kind of looking at him and I'm like, okay. I'm not trying to shoot competition. I just want a threaded barrel so I can put a silencer on it.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, yeah, it's good for that, too. I'm like, well, no shit.
that's actually why it was made.
That's actually why it was made. Like, it's like I don't want to throw a comp on it because I don't really care. Yeah. And I was like, comps are cool, but whatever. And this was man before like people started really getting into the nitty gritty of that stuff, and then actually making reliable compensators and things like that. Like the Afterburner, right?
Yeah.
That shoot that are specifically made for 115 grain, which are the most common 9mm. But yeah, so.
I love that thing.
But in relation to the barrel length thing, I think that there's also something to be said though about the idea that there's the theoretical accuracy and there's a practical accuracy. Like, how easy is it for the shooter to get stuff out of the gun, right?
Yeah.
So, like a great example, we have 308. You'll have 6.5 Creedmoor. I don't know that it would be necessarily correct to say that the 6.5 is more accurate than the 308 as a cartridge, but it's easier for you to use it. Well, no, because it's got a flatter trajectory, right? So even if I could shoot and have it repeatedly hit the same impact point, it takes more for me as a shooter to adjust to hit those longer distances with a 308.
I get what you're saying.
So it's requiring more skill on my part as opposed to something in 6.5 Creedmoor where you have a longer, flatter trajectory where you just don't have to make the adjustment.
Yeah, it also comes down to like Indian versus arrow, kind of what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, even if the longer barrel doesn't affect the actual theoretical mechanical accuracy of the system, it's just as accurate. It's not more accurate, less accurate. It's the same accuracy. But does it give you the extra velocity, maybe providing a flatter trajectory? Does that give you as a shooter an easier way to access that accuracy?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I don't know, something to think about. But in my mind, though, yeah, exactly. But in my mind, though, 6.5 Creedmoor is inherently more accurate. It's been proven that it holds tighter groups. You can take the most, your whatever match, whatever 7.62, 6.5 Creedmoor, and don't get me wrong, I'm a 7.62 guy. I love my 308s and everything, but 6.5 Creedmoor is just known to hold tighter groups at the same distance as 7.62, and also be able to do that over a longer distance as well, though. So I get where you're coming from, but also just again, the basics of the round.
So here's how we can test this and put it in practical, like actually on paper, literally, is that we get a barrel from the same manufacturer.
Exact same.
And then, same barrel length. Barrel length doesn't really matter, because there's differences between the calibers, but you get the idea. Same barrel manufacturer, and then get the same rounds made from the same people, for example, Hornady,
Yep.
And then
get like the top of the line of each. And make it both Hornady. Let's get U.S. Arms Co. or somebody to get us some bolt guns that are the exact same gun. One's chambered in 6.5, one's chambered in 308. And then behind that, we have to get, it's going to have like the lead sled and all of it. It's going to have to be like, and then we're going to have to do this at, again, this will be a good video down in Texas again, where we can shoot out to a mile, and then actually we run this, out to these different types of lengths. But there's so many determining factors with the environment, climate, all this type of stuff that could actually cause, if you're going for that type of precision, it's going to be a lot of work, but it would be really cool to do.
No, that's a good point too. A lot of people will have their like scope. They'll I don't know, shoot in Tennessee, for example, right? And then they'll have a perfect zero to 1,000 yards, right? Then they come over to Texas, they may be a part of the Texas Plinking series, whatever, and then they're way off. And they're like, well, what did I do wrong? They're like, oh, the wind must have been different. There's other
Humidity,
that could have been it. That
humidity.
totally could have been
Yeah,
it.
Dude,
the humidity in
pressure
the
too.
air. The
But there's
humidity in
pressure.
the air can actually change it. There's a reason why the United States military actually has a meteorology MOS. There's guys that actually go downrange to get weather readings for artillery and stuff like that, and for mortars to get an understanding. Because put it this way, when you test your mortar and artillery fire in 29 Palms, California, it's going to react differently than what it's going to in Afghanistan.
Yeah,
because
that makes a lot of sense.
So
I didn't know that they had a whole.
there's a whole MOS.
The thin air, obviously sea level, the air pressure, density, altitude, all that stuff affect.
Pretty cool.
Pretty interesting stuffs. But anyway, so I don't know if that was boring or interesting for our listeners or not. But all right, cool. So far in this series, though, what's been like y'all's favorite thing that's happened thus far?
I would say that the 3 different positions that we did shooting, although the sitting was very challenging. Like the Azrael has been a great rifle, but that was a shortcoming because it was heavy. Yeah. And I had a really hard time holding it.
I think again, you remember how I was talking about before, how I get in my head, like, because the sitting, I thought, dude, I've shot in the shitting.
Do not cut that one.
Yeah, right. I've shot in the sitting position so many times. I went into it cocky. I was like, dude, I got this. And then what do? Fucking miss.
Yeah. I shot with AR all the time, but to 100, 150, maybe 200. But that was like, what was 450? And had that heavy rifle. Yeah. So I was like, okay. I thought it was going to be easy. I'm not going to lie. I was like you. I was like, yeah, it'll be easy. That was not easy, man. Yeah, but it was fun.
Slowing down, practicing those fundamentals. Next thing you know, ding, how about that?
My favorite thing was kind of a personal test between adjusting for the elevation, the distance, right, versus holdovers. And that was a kind of a personal thing. I was like, I just try holdovers for this challenge, and then I wish I would adjust it.
At least your scope has hash marks for holdovers.
Yeah. I just think adjusting is so much better, right? Like I know holdover may be a little faster if you can get it right, but you just like click, adjust it, and your brain just wants to put that crosshair dead center on your target.
That's a good point too. I wonder, and it may depend on the scope too, because say like a Trimmer 3 or like a Horus 59, H59 reticle, one of those might be easier for holdovers, right? But the ones we were using, I felt like it took me more time to figure out where the holdover was going to be at 500 yards, and then try to figure it out for that spray paint can down there. It just took way more time than me adjusting it. Yeah.
Fair enough.
What about you?
Yeah, I would say that we haven't even released it yet, but actually testing your scope and seeing whether or not it's true. That
was mind-blowing for me.
That was mind-blowing also, and it was, you guys will see this in the video, but really quick synopsis. Ultimately, what Josh was showing us was like, hey, you want to make sure that your scope is dead on, you want to make sure that it's accurate? Well, we're going to test that theory. So you take, what was it, like 3 or 4 shots or something like that?
Yeah, you took 3 and 3 and 31 inches, whatever we did.
Yeah, so you actually measure how true your scope is. You measure out your actual, like the distance between your adjustments and everything else, and you're supposed to do like, all right, cool. So if you're going to measure 30 inches, that difference, if you're shooting like mills, I think it was like almost like 70 some odd clicks. Yeah. Right. So you have to, like, we literally had to sit there and count in our heads and make sure we didn't fuck up, like all the way up to 70, how many ever the hell. And then you take another 3 shots, and you should, your median impact right in the middle of all of your other groups and everything, that should be that exact distance. Yeah. And so we had it measured out and everything, and I will say that the little writing did pretty good. Yeah. And I was pretty impressed with it. But I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. And so that'll be something, that you guys will see in a video coming out soon.
Yeah, basically every click, if you have a MOA or mil radian like MRAD, it's just not like 1 mil is not 1 mil on that. Like every click is not 1 mil basically.
Right. So
depending on the scope, and even if you have like 2 loopholes, one of them may be spot on, the other one may not, because there's a margin of error. That's what he said.
Yeah, so just to kind of, I guess, step back. So, like, if you look at your scope, it's going to say, like, every click is a quarter of an MOA adjustment, or it's a 1/10 of a mil adjustment or something. Yeah. And so the idea is, okay, but how do you know that when you make that click that it's actually adjusting the correct amount? Right. So, you group shots to have a point of impact, and then if you do, say, your adjustment's a quarter of a MOA, and you're shooting at 100 yards. Okay, so if I do 20 clicks, then that should be 4 or 5 MOA. So at 100 yards, that should be 5 times 1.04 inches, so 5.2 inches. And then if you shoot again, you should know exactly where that's going to impact. And really, he said you need to go really big adjustments because you want to make sure that if there's very small incremental amounts that it's off, you need a big adjustment so those add up and you can see that it's
the
there.
compound effect. That's
exactly.
what
makes the difference more obvious.
So I mean, so if you've got a full size target and you're able to get out, and so also at a greater distance too, because it doesn't matter. I mean, it could be at 100 yards, could be at 50 yards. You'll still be able to see that deviation. But if you go to a greater distance, you might be able to test yourself a little bit more too.
Yep.
But even still, I think 100 yards is actually like perfect, right?
That's what he
because
said.
that's easy enough to do. You can see everything. You're not challenging yourself a whole lot. All you got to do is focus on those fundamentals, get that nice tight group, and then make your calculation all the way up, and then all of a sudden you should be having that correct measurement. But yeah, again, the video will come out so you guys can actually see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And
So
my
that was
favorite
cool.
thing that's happened probably was beating Clint both times in the challenge that we've shot.
So far.
That we've shot. But
I love this ass.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, that was the obvious low-hanging fruit there. But to be honest, I mean, I think just really talking to Josh and being able to access that font of information has really been just a highlight of this whole series, because it's not often that we are able to invite a guest in who is just so knowledgeable about their topic,
right,
that we are able to just like almost learn an endless amount of information, because there's just no end to what we don't know about it.
Sorry,
Yeah.
USA. No?
Wow.
Are you saying that time that Kaya showed up to the range on behalf of Sorry USA and then taught us things?
This fucking guy.
Because I don't remember that.
I know, me too.
talk about learning things. Matt, what did you and I learn? The entire trust but verify, because both of our scopes came mounted from the factory.
Yeah.
Both of our scopes shifted in the scope mounts. So that was
right.
cool too.
Clint's shooting his rifle, and he's like, there are like little scratch marks on his scope.
I was getting so frustrated. I was like, dude, because I'm sitting there, I'm pulling the trigger, and I'm like, dude, I know that was a good shot. Why am I not hitting? And then, I honestly was actually getting frustrated. Like I was like, I know I'm better than this. Why am I doing so shitty, right? Mm-hmm. And granted, I'm not going to say too that it was 100% equipment, but my scope was shifting, and I'm over there like, oh my God, are you kidding me? And at this point, it's not like we're gonna go reshoot the episode. No, it's just like, dude, we're gonna call it for what it is. And sure enough, when we looked at yours was even worse.
Yeah. So again, when Josh was fixing Clint's scope and getting it tightened down, we looked at my rifle, and there were even worse scratch marks where it's just shifting rearward from recoil every shot.
What was so bad about yours too is that
and the
like
screws.
Yeah, like dude, like so if like ironically I have a nice little scope ring here for the IR light. But what was so bad about yours though is that your screws were so unequally tightened down. So you could tell they just like started on the right side, got to the point where it started to feel tight. Okay, cool. Let me go to the left side, not realizing that they closed this side so much and it was so open over here.
And then angled from each other.
From each other. And so what Josh explained to us is that that's actually like really bad. You're causing actually unequal torsion on the scope. So you're actually causing the scope to flex. Flex. Yeah, and it's like, dude, you don't realize how every little thing, especially when it comes to why is it called precision, right? Every little thing has to be precise, all the way down to how much torque and equally applied torque down to the rings on your scope, how the scope is mounted to the optics mounted to the actual rifle, and also to the placement of everything. You want to make sure that you don't have anything touching. If it's truly a free-floated barrel, you don't want your chassis touching the barrel. It comes down to you as the shooter. Are you slow, steady squeeze? Or do you have too much finger on the trigger? Every little thing. It's called precision shooting for a reason.
So I'd like to just thank Clint for pointing out another reason why my rifle is the worst rifle in the competition. But also every excuse I can have of why I didn't do better. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
You still beat him though. You still beat him. Wow.
Oh, but I still beat him. That's right. Yeah.
That's okay. That's all right. We'll see. We'll see at the end.
Oh, wow.
We'll see. We'll see, the greater dividends that pay out. We'll see.
Red team.
Yeah. Blue team is gonna. Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know.
Actually, so to be honest, going into shooting these videos later today, I feel a little bit of trepidation, to be honest, because Josh was there when we were shooting these other two videos, and it has been a while since we shot them.
3 weeks probably.
Yeah.
And so without the benefit of his expertise.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's not something I've done a lot of, and it's been a while since we showed those episodes. If we had followed up right behind those, then great. I remember everything that man said. Not necessarily the case anymore.
Yeah, I'm hoping that my zeros are still true.
I know.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm hoping that I do okay. Yeah.
Well, you better because you're my teammate. Because if you don't do okay, then we win.
Then what?
Because of me.
He's gonna beat you.
Then we win because of me.
Okay. You know what? The great thing about a team
Dude,
sport. The great thing
in
about
all
team sport.
seriousness-
If I win because of you, thank you. I still won.
In all seriousness, though, like I'm kind of nervous right now.
Looking for the all-day carry right here. Yeah.
I'm nervous, dude. I'm nervous. Look at these two. They look like they're gonna be coming at us strong,
You love that, wouldn't you?
dude. No, not really. Not,
Oh god, dude.
look at these guys.
Oh man.
You just set that one up.
All right. Anyway, I think
Hey.
we pretty much run this one out.
Yeah.
So let us know if you guys actually enjoy this. Just us four hanging out, having a conversation, and of course, if you'd like to hear us talk again, we will do like a follow up post. Once the series is done, right?
Yeah.
And then kind of like how everything turned
Yeah.
out, and yeah, just so you guys know, everything pretty much being featured as far as the guns go and the optics and all the equipment for the guns and all that, like the bipods or whatever, all that's going to be offered at CF contest. And let's just say there's 4 guns. There's going to be 4 individual lucky people. There you go. That are going to get the opportunity to shoot said 4 guns. So there you have it.
I just want one condition though. Whoever has the Azrael should invite me wherever they are, so we shoot it together.
Did you say your favorite part of the bolt gun series?
I did.
You did.
The part that when I beat you, is that what I said? I did. I was just talking about the shooting positions.
Yeah. Oh my
Edit.
god.
Okay.
Oh man, you talked about yours, right?
Yeah, mine was the holdover.
Yeah, that's
and then once again, thank you to Josh.
Yeah.
I
The whole
mean,
beat thing was only Matt. Matt said he was happy that he beat
It was
you.
low hanging fruit. I had to go
That
for
was
it.
it. So
all
we
it's
all
got,
kept
man.
it very
Beat that
civil and
low-hanging
nice
fruit.
and level-headed,
This is
and Matt
Matt.
just decided to be that guy.
Just leave it to Matt. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, hey, anyway, so let us know down in the comment section below if you like this here, us 4 just hanging out talking, and of course, if this ought to be good. Let us know what topics you would like for us to discuss on another episode of the podcast with the squad here, the CF squad, and perhaps, we probably didn't know that it was probably going to grow to this size at some point, but we might need to get a 5th arm and everything because when we have Sarah back in the office.
Oh, that's
yeah.
true.
Yeah, so we probably
that's
need to get a
right.
5th mic and all that type of stuff set up too, so that way we can really have the entire Classic Firearms team here. Because for those of you that don't know, us as a group, it's in the works right now. Might be shooting as a team here very soon. So there's that's going to be in the works. So stay tuned for that because that'll be pretty spicy. But anyway, yeah. So down below, comment different topics to discuss, debate, talk about, whatever. Let us know, and from there, I think that's about it, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, man. Good
Cool.
times.
All right, let's go pack all of our guns up. Let's go shoot.
Let's do it.
All right. God bless you guys. We'll see you next time at the CF podcast.
Take care.
See ya.